Hey guys, welcome back to Ace Recaps. Today, I'm going to explain a 2017 horror thriller film titled Leatherface. Heads up, spoilers ahead, you've been warned. The movie begins with a birthday celebration inside a rundown farmhouse. A family has gathered around their youngest son, Jed, to mark the occasion. His mother Verna stands with his older brothers, and their grandfather sits nearby. The atmosphere is unsettling despite the celebration. A stranger has been tied to a chair nearby. Verna tells the family that the man was caught stealing their livestock. As a birthday gift, Jed is handed over a chainsaw. His older brother starts the machine and everyone urges Jed to use it on the stranger. The family cheers him on, expecting him to enjoy the moment. But Jed is still just a child, and he freezes. He drops the chainsaw and steps back. Seeing this, his grandfather takes over and smashes the man's head with a hammer. The man dies on the spot. This is less of a birthday party and more of a family bonding exercise gone very wrong. The story then shifts to a young couple driving along an isolated country road, enjoying their time together. Suddenly, something steps directly in front of their vehicle, and they brake to a stop. The girl steps out and discovers it is a child wearing a cow mask. The child tells her that he needs help and immediately runs off into the woods. The girl is unsettled by what she just witnessed. Despite her partner's warning, she follows the child into an abandoned farm. And just like that, common sense officially leaves the story. Inside, she finds animal bones hanging and several hidden traps throughout the property. She steps on one of the traps and falls into a pit below, badly injured and bleeding from her nose and mouth. The masked child removes his disguise, and it is Jed. His family had arranged for him to be trained by a criminal who was teaching him how to kill. That same trainer instructs Jed's brother to drop a heavy car engine onto the injured woman below. The brother carries out the order and the engine crushes her instantly. A short time later, Sheriff Hartman arrives at the scene. He is devastated and furious because the woman who was killed was his own daughter. He has no arrest warrant and no physical evidence tying the Sawyer family to the crime, as they have already destroyed everything. However, he does have enough authority to take Jed into custody. Rather than treating the boy as a criminal, Hartman makes a difficult decision. He decides to place Jed in a mental institution called Gorman House, believing the child can be counseled and kept away from the violent influence of his family. Before leaving, Hartman confronts Verna and tells her that because of what her family did, he will never return her son to her. 10 years pass. A young nurse named Lizzie arrives at Gorman House for her first day of work. The head doctor, Dr. Lang, explains to her that every child brought into the facility is given a new name upon arrival, so they cannot remember or identify with their criminal backgrounds. Lizzie notices a large and quiet young man sitting alone. His name at the institution is Bud. She walks over and tries to speak with him, but he ignores her completely. Another patient named Jackson comes over and starts talking with her instead. It becomes clear that Bud rarely speaks and prefers to stay to himself. Bud gives her silence, and Jackson jumps in like customer service with unresolved trauma. Shortly after, a conflict breaks out between patients. A troublesome young man named Ike starts harassing others in the facility. Lizzie steps in to stop him, but Ike turns on her and becomes aggressive. Bud steps forward and stops Ike from going any further. The staff arrives and takes both Bud and Ike away. Later, Dr. Lang checks on Lizzie about the incident. Lizzie tells the doctor that Bud was only defending her, but the doctor dismisses this entirely. He warns her that Bud once killed members of his own family after they took his dog, and that he is a dangerous individual. Dr. Lang says both Bud and Ike require therapy. After the doctor leaves, Jackson quietly pulls Lizzie aside in the hallway. He tells her that the therapy sessions are not treatment at all. The doctors use them to torture and punish the patients. He asks her to watch and help if she can. So the treatment plan here was basically pain with paperwork. Around the same time, Verna arrives at the institution. She has accumulated significant wealth over the years and has hired a lawyer who obtained a court order granting her the right to visit her son. She approaches Dr. Lang's office and demands to see Jed. The doctor tells her that all patients are assigned new names upon arrival and that he has no record of anyone named Jed. He claims that identifying the correct patient would require an order from a separate court and that the matter is outside his responsibility. That man is dodging the truth like it owes him money. Verna storms out of his office in frustration. That night, inside one of the therapy rooms, Bud is subjected to high-voltage electric shocks. Lizzie witnesses this through a window and is horrified by what she sees. At that moment, a security alarm goes off throughout the building. Verna forces her way past a restricted area inside the facility. Her intrusion triggers chaos across Gorman House. Patients break free from their rooms and start attacking staff members. Dr. Lang rushes out to assess the situation. Bud breaks free from his restraints. He quickly overpowers the guards around him. Ike asks Bud to release him as well. Despite everything between them, Bud agrees and sets him free. Amazing how fast people rediscover friendship when the doors start opening. When Bud comes face to face with Dr. Lang, the doctor strikes him first. Bud responds with full force and slams the doctor's head into a nearby window again and again. The glass shatters and punctures the doctor's skull. He dies from the injury. Meanwhile, Lizzie flees to the basement with another nurse to avoid the violence across the facility. A violent patient follows them and kills the other nurse. The patient then turns toward Lizzie. Just before he reaches her, Jackson appears and pulls the patient away, then kills him. Jackson brings Lizzie safely out of the building. Outside, Ike and a disturbed young woman named Clarice are already waiting. Because of course the parking lot comes with bonus problems. They overpower Jackson and Lizzie and force them into a stolen car. When Ike spots Bud nearby, he pulls him into the group as well. After reaching a safer place, they change clothes and Ike opens the car trunk. Jackson tries to attack, but Ike overpowers him. Lizzie runs away but is stopped by Clarice. Ike then tells everyone that his wealthy parents live in Mexico and that he intends to travel there. He invites the group along but makes it clear that anyone who tries to escape or alert the police will be killed by his hand. Bud and Jackson have no memory of any life or family outside the institution. Both of them want to understand what a real family looks like, so they agree to go along. Lizzie has no real choice and is taken with them. Hartman is notified of the escape from Gorman House and immediately deploys police units to track the group down. He learns that Jed, now known as Bud, is among the escaped patients. Hartman orders his officers to shoot Bud on sight. Verna gets this information through a contact and begins tracking the group using a private investigator she already had in place. The group eventually stops at a roadside restaurant because they are hungry. Jackson senses something is off but stays quiet. Inside, Ike and Clarice behave strangely, and Clarice stabs a man with a knife and takes his gun. Ike attacks a waitress, and Clarice shoots 2 people inside the restaurant. Ike finds a shotgun, and they then rob the customers at gunpoint. Ike then kills the waitress by shooting her in the head. That restaurant got 1 star and a crime scene. During the escape, an injured customer fires at them. One of the bullets strikes Bud in the stomach. They steal a car from outside and speed away. A while later, Hartman and his officers arrive at the restaurant and question the injured customer. The car the group is driving runs out of fuel deep in the woods, and the group abandons it. They continue on foot until they find an old trailer in a clearing. Inside, they discover the body of a man who appears to have ended his own life. With no other option available, they decide to stay through the night. Lizzie does her best to clean and treat Bud's gunshot wound. That night, Ike and Clarice share a quiet moment together inside the trailer. Clarice kisses the dead body. That trailer was already uncomfortable, and then she somehow found a lower level. Ike then assigns Bud to keep watch outside while the others sleep. Later that night, Lizzie uses the opportunity and slips away from the trailer in the dark. Ike catches her before she gets far and tries to assault her. Just then, Jackson arrives and pushes Ike away from her. He fights Ike off and tells Lizzie to run. Clarice arrives with a shotgun and stops their fight. Then she forces Jackson and Lizzie back inside the trailer. Ike turns his frustration on Bud for failing to keep watch while Lizzie nearly escaped. Later, when Ike is alone outside relieving himself, Bud attacks him from behind and drags him to an open area. He places Ike's mouth against a tree stump and crushes his head until he is dead. The next morning, Clarice wakes to find Ike missing and walks into the woods to search for him. Jackson and Lizzie locate Bud, who is lying on top of Ike's body. Jackson pulls Bud back. Shortly after, Clarice is apprehended in the woods by Deputy Sorrell, who immediately contacts Hartman. When Hartman arrives, he attacks Clarice without restraint and demands to know where the others are hiding. Clarice refuses to cooperate and runs away into the open field. Hartman shoots her in the leg. Her cry of pain alerts Jackson, Lizzie, and Bud from a distance. Hartman drags Clarice to the trailer and orders the remaining escapees to surrender. Clarice taunts him about his dead daughter. Hartman loses his temper and shoots her in the head. The others watch from afar and immediately flee into the open countryside. Hartman releases tracking dogs into the area to hunt them down. The 3 move through open land with police dogs tracking close behind. They come across a cow that has been dead for several days, with only its skeleton and dried skin remaining. They hide inside the carcass. The dogs cannot detect their human scent from within, and the officers move on. Once the area is clear, they climb out of the carcass covered in blood. They continue moving through the countryside. They reach a road where Lizzie spots a highway patrol officer and tries to signal for help. Jackson pulls her back, warning that the officer could be connected to Hartman. The officer notices them and calls for backup. Bud moves toward the officer to stop him from completing the call. The officer draws his weapon and shoots Bud in the head. Bud dies on the road. Jackson is consumed with grief and rage. He attacks the officer with savage force. Lizzie tries to stop him, but Jackson pushes her inside the car and kills the officer. Lizzie drives the car away. Jackson manages to get inside before she speeds off. Hartman pursues them and opens fire from behind. A bullet tears through Jackson's face and disfigures it severely. Another bullet strikes Lizzie's hand. She loses control of the car and it crashes off the road. After some time, Lizzie regains consciousness inside Hartman's vehicle. She finds the radio and contacts Deputy Sorrell. She manages to give him her location near an old rundown barn. Hartman arrives and drags her out. Inside the barn, she finds Jackson hooded and suspended in chains. Hartman reveals to Lizzie that Jackson is actually Jed Sawyer, the same boy responsible for his daughter's death years ago. Meanwhile, Deputy Sorrell travels to Verna and tells her everything, including where Jed is being held. It is revealed that Sorrell has been secretly working with Verna the entire time. He was the one who first informed her about Jed's escape from Gorman House. After receiving his payment, Sorrell is attacked by Verna's sons Drayton and Nubbins. They feed him to the pigs. Verna takes the chainsaw she had originally gifted Jed on his birthday, and the family heads to the barn together to bring him home. When Verna and her sons arrive at the barn, Hartman shoves Jed into a pit in front of her, intending to kill him just like his daughter was killed. While Hartman is distracted by Nubbins, Drayton strikes him from behind and knocks him unconscious. Jed is pulled out of the pit alive. The family brings him back to the Sawyer house. Verna carefully stitches up the severe wound across his face and secures a muzzle over his jaw to hold everything together. Jed is now a changed person. The years of institutional abuse and trauma have left him mentally broken and unrecognizable from the child he once was. Hartman and Lizzie are held captive inside one of the rooms. Hartman eventually regains consciousness and pleads with Lizzie to free him. She reluctantly unties him. The two move carefully through the house, which is filled with objects made from human remains. As they try to find a way out, Verna's sons catch them both. Verna enters the room and places the original chainsaw into Jed's hands. She tells him that the moment has come to use the gift she gave him and to take revenge on those who caused him pain. This time, Jed does not hesitate. He drives the chainsaw into Hartman and kills him in a brutal and devastating manner. Looks like the birthday gift finally got the screen time it wanted. Lizzie runs from the house in fear. Verna and her sons pursue her. She reaches an open road, but Jed catches up to her. His chainsaw briefly stalls, and she moves ahead. He gets it running and follows her. Lizzie is caught in a bear trap as she runs and falls to the ground. She looks up at Jed and speaks to him steadily. She tells him that he is a good person and that his mother is turning him into something he is not. Jed slows for a moment. But when Lizzie speaks against Verna, something shifts in him completely. He raises the chainsaw and decapitates Lizzie without hesitation. At that point, Mercy is not even in the building anymore. The next morning, Verna burns all remaining evidence from the night before. The family feeds the remains of their victims to the pigs. Jed carefully removes the skin from Lizzie's face and shapes it into a mask. He puts it on and stares at his reflection in a mirror. He smashes the mirror, and the movie ends. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.